last game was a good win actually, on penalties. So it could have gone either way. But you know, weekend league, Champions League. This Champions League is the first one that I've decided to just. Oh, he's got Team of the Year player Modric, and anyway, it's about staying cool and collected, calm and collected, and just enjoying what you've chosen to do. The most important thing is enjoy and have fun, and that's exactly what I've been doing. And due to that, I was able to. Seems like I'm gonna perform as good as what I normally would after spending too much energy. A lot more energy than what I normally would have, and I'm still able to perform. So it seems like I'm on track to do that. So it kind of shows you don't have to work as hard to achieve pretty much the same result. You can be smart about it. I think it's really efficiency. Efficiency does work with us as well as humans, and it's not just a machine. You can be efficient about it, like emotionally, not so detached, like not as detached all the way, but you could, just do your thing, be good at it, get better at what you do. It just takes practice. I should have scored a goal earlier in this game. Should have, but I didn't. Guy hit the post. And he's got like Cruz is the one that hit the post, and he's got like 85% accuracy. And he's defeated, the goalkeeper was done. But it all evens itself out, obviously. My opponent just missed as well. So, I could have just wrecked myself thinking about it, trying to sub him out or whatever. But instead, I'm just going to give him another few opportunities. Hopefully, he converts at least one of them. It is a team sport, and that's what I like about team sports, is that you're not on your own. You can't, blame one player, but at the same time, you can't blame the whole team either, because there's so many different scenarios and there's so many different reasons why a team doesn't perform. So as a coach, you can't sit down your team and then just blast them all. I've seen that happen before, and it's very destructive for everybody, including your team morale. When you're talking to a group of people, I've noticed you can't treat them the same when you would if you were talking to them individually. And it's weird, but that's, I never thought that was, when I was a kid, I thought it was like you treat everyone the same if they're in a group or individually. But it's not the way things things work. The reason why is that when people are in a group, they seem to have a collective consciousness, or whatever you want to call that. They seem to penalty. All he did is just use his body. I can't believe that's a penalty. Anyway, let's see if my player misses. Yep, he misses. Of course, it's not fair. Shouldn't have considered goal on that. That's really not a penalty, in my eyes. Anyway, so. It's people behave differently in a group, whether or not they understand or see or feel that that's the case. They probably do it subconsciously or without noticing it. So you can't treat that same individual the way you would treat them one-on-one. So with team sports, I've noticed, people who are the loudest in that team naturally end up being the leaders. Because it's any groups, any group type of environment such as sports is very tribal. And that's the reason why it's very popular, because we do have we're very complex beings, and we enjoy the tribal aspect of it as well. It's not something that should be taken away from us. It's just part of our nature. But it's recognizing that that's the case, that is the way it works, it really goes a long way of understanding how groups of people can react subconsciously, in weird ways that normally on an individual level they would never do that. When I was a kid, I always stayed away from a group of boys walking around together down the street. I never wanted to be part of those groups. I just always felt uncomfortable. Especially boys are, those type of boys are usually very ambitious, if you can say it that way. And I always found it very, pointless. That you're not doing much. It's just like trying to find something exciting when you're in with a group of boys is very difficult, unless you're doing something stupid. And I found that that's not something I am keen to explore. Unless I was the leader of that group, for example. And usually it's sports. Like pretty much always when I was a kid, it was always about sports. With a group of boys. It was always about trying to play sports, like soccer, volleyball, basketball, handball, whatever is accessible. But mostly it was soccer in my younger days. It was mostly soccer that really I had a lot of friends that they wanted to play soccer, so we just went with soccer, which is cool because soccer, you need indoor soccer you don't need 11 players, obviously, but we didn't care about how many players we had. Sometimes we would have like 15 players in one team and the other one would have like 13 or whatever, so we would choose the players that are better to play in a smaller team. And then if one team is winning more, scoring more goals, then we would like swap the players around. So, and also, if someone commits a foul that's not fair, we tell him off as a group. And I was always, the one speaking up and saying, hey, you need to chill out. This is not fair. And they will listen. If you cut it, if you voice your opinion very early on, kids listen. But if you don't, it becomes a habit, and then they fight because again, it's easy. Being set in your ways. You don't have to be an older person to be set in your ways. sometimes it's all about repetition. So if that kid decides to do something that's naughty, whatever it is, and they keep doing the same thing over and over again, they get, you would say addicted, but it becomes a habit. And then guess what? The kid will do everything in their powers to make sure that they can continue on with that habit. It's just the way we are. We like to continue on with what we're good at, and for some reason, if this kid gets a kick out of seeing other kids, bullying, for example, like I have experienced bullying when I was a kid as well, even though there wasn't much to bully me on, and I used to fight back. But what I used to do is, I would before I would fight, I would acknowledge the bullier, and I would tell the bullier, hey, this is not what I enjoy doing. I do not enjoy you telling me, you being, so aggressive. And I would only take it to the next level, which is maybe, dobbing into a teacher or something like that. Once it escalates into physical contact. But if it doesn't escalate to physical contact, it's a bit harder to prove that you're getting bullied. So that's why bullies normally the ones that are bullies are pretty clever. So they use their cleverness to camouflage their actions so they can keep going with the fun stuff, which is seeing other kids, seeing other kids, react to his or her actions, the bullying actions. And this is where, as a parent, bullying inherently is not bad, it's not evil. What's bad is the habit. So that kid was never had the opportunity to learn that, hey, this is not fun for the other party. How about we, which is hard, recreate the same and make the same happen to you? Would you be happy with that? So a certain bullier will not understand the aspect of, hey, it could happen to me, because they don't think that way. They're just too busy. They're just too busy, doing what they do, which is being a kid that doesn't understand that it's not fun for the other one, for the other kid, that your actions are not welcome. And this comes in maturity. The kid that's a bullier needs to be aware, and also it's the adult who is supervising, or the adult who is supposed to detect that, also requires skill to do it in a way that doesn't affect his confidence and his, because all kids have, a lot of growth to do. So it's about, not hampering him or her, but it's about getting them to acknowledge, hey, the other person's not, or the other kid's not having fun. So really, it's all about communication, and the critical bit is catching it early. Just don't understand why this guy's my player's man of the match. He had 0 assists and 0 goals. The rest of my opponent's players, except Modric, which he was team of the year, so the best card you can get is the team of the year. That card's worth quite a lot of coin. No wonder he was the only one performing. But I've had at least 4 players who are better than his best performer. So no wonder my team won. But T.Alexander-Arnold, why is he team of why is he man of the match? So passing accuracy 100%. He had 16 passes. Similar story like the previous game, the man of the match. Huge passing. So this game obviously is all about passing really. And if you got 100% accuracy in passing, you will rate a lot higher than most players who score goals. Because of the huge amount of passing, and all 100% is a really good game he's played. And he's also had 14 dribbles at 100% rate. He's just had a blinder. Look at those passes. Had no assists, but that's really not the critical thing. If you look at his passes down low, all those passes have been forward attacking passes, really. They've all been accurate. He's done a lot of attacking as well. The majority of the passes are in attack. So he's had a really, really good game. So that was a good win. Just want to see this last goal. He's tried tackling, missed the tackle, and then it's pretty much 85% accuracy. Even though he had a really good goalkeeper. Pretty hard to stop that. So that's it. Almost there. I always want to reach 45 points. So I've got like 6 games left. And even if I lose all 6, I'll get to my, what I really want to be, at least 45 points. So if I lose all 6, I'll get there to get the prizes that I really want. But anything over 51 points is exceptional. So if I could win the next 2 out of 6, I would achieve my really, comfortable range where you get pretty decent prizes, and you might draw a really good player. You unpack a good player, that'll be nice, but I don't count that, because then you have expectations, and then guess what? You get disappointed, and then you have to deal with the feelings and the emotions. So you want to keep those down packed and use those for the good instead of the negative side of things. All right, we'll see you in the next game. Sign out.